We recently did some reverse engineering on a campaign, or really a series of campaigns, that a particular company has been doing online. It's really a B2B campaign process that they use. They're not a client, so we're not giving away any proprietary information. But it looks like they've been successfully using advertising to generate leads, and we'll talk more about that company and what they do in a minute. I'm going to do a quick summary here of the major platforms for web advertising. We're not going to get really into this. Obviously, there are a lot more platforms than just AdWords, Facebook, and RTB. And RTB is kind of a generic. It's not exactly a platform. There's lots of platforms using RTB. But AdWords does more than just keyword, site targeting, and geo-targeting. But that's mostly what people use AdWords for. Keyword targeting is all about targeting based on keywords that you would care about a person finding you when they search on. So for instance, if somebody searches on insurance, then your ads you may want your ads to show. So when you're developing campaigns using AdWords, typically you go into the keyword planner and you focus on keywords. Now, AdWords also does other things, other types of targeting, especially through YouTube. So I'm not suggesting that's all you can do with AdWords, but this is what people, in my experience, typically use AdWords for. Keyword targeting, site targeting, and geo-targeting. Site targeting is targeting specific sites. Geo-targeting is targeting, obviously, where the surfer is, where the visitor is physically. Facebook, you get much more focus in Facebook targeting on affinity, and really that's interest targeting. So Facebook has done a really good job of figuring out what people are interested in. And also in Facebook, demographic, I'm calling it personal here, but it's really demographic targeting, who the person is. And the reason I'm using the term personal is because there's way more data points available in Facebook about who a person is, not just, say, the typical demographics like age and the language they speak. And of course, people also do targeting in Facebook with geo. RTB, which is again a generic, it stands for real-time bidding. Affinity targeting, again, interest targeting. Site targeting, you can target particular sites. And intent targeting, which is, what is the person trying to do when they're searching. For instance, their intent may be to buy a car. So you can target based on their intent to buy a car. Now, of course, you can do the same thing in Facebook. You can do the same thing in AdWords, but I'm trying to focus here on what people typically use AdWords for, Facebook for, and RTB. Obviously, all the platforms want to go in all the different directions, but the most generic is RTB because all the data that is available for targeting you can use through RTB, including Facebook's data through Facebook Exchange. All of them ultimately use retargeting, and retargeting we'll get into a little more in a minute, but basically retargeting, you could call it follow me around targeting, or you could call it boomerang targeting, but basically it's after somebody visits your site, you're following up with them. Okay, so our case study is a company that is advertising right here on insurance forums. They're a company in the insurance industry. It's called American Independent Marketing, and you can see right away when you go to their website what they do. We make insurance agents successful. I think that's what that said. They teach we make insurance agents more money. Okay, so they have products and services that help insurance agents succeed. AIM provides me with the right products for today's market, so they mean insurance products. So again, this is a B2B company. It's a business trying to reach out to other businesses, and obviously they're trying to generate leads. Their focus is on insurance agents. It makes it really clear when you go to their website what they do. We make insurance agents more money, so no doubt what they do. They're focusing on helping insurance agents make more sales, make insurance agents better. So very clear what they do, but you're going to see in a minute that they're not sending people to their main page, which is 101 first good practice. You don't send people to your main page. You send them to specifically designed pages to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So we can go to insurance forums. It says at the top 150,000 insurance professionals and consumers. I doubt very many consumers come there, but perhaps come to insurance forums every month. So it's definitely popular. And I happened to notice this. I happened to read this news story, so I use this as one to focus on. And this company we're focusing on, our AIM, we'll call them AIM, but American Independent Marketing, shows a display ad. Now we refresh the page, and they show another display ad. Now you'll see in a minute they keep showing all their ads over and over again, but we clicked on this ad, and this is where we went. Okay, so clicked on this ad right here, and we got this page. So we actually went ahead and filled this out, see what our response would be, and we got an immediate phone call, really within about 5 minutes. It's actually not the best way to do it, but clearly they're tied into their marketing pretty tightly. Again, that's not the best way to do it. Okay, so we kept refreshing the page, and another ad came up from AIM, Critical Illness Insurance Market. If you remember, when we went to their page, they focused a lot on product. One of these slides here says product. So in fact that's what we're seeing, which is kind of good because they're basically showing a consistent message, a product-based message. Anyway, we clicked on this ad, and this is what came up. And frankly, this is a lot better. You'll see in a minute why this process is a lot better. First of all, they're using a different site. Okay, our first response, our first click-through went to AIM, just a page on the AIM site, which is really whyaim.com. But in this case, we clicked through to a site specifically designed to do nothing more than capture leads. Okay, much better than what they did with the other one for a few reasons. We fill out this form, and in this case their process was much better. Instead of getting a phone call, we got an email. Now, what was the problem with the phone call? Well, the phone call was out of order, out of time, because we just clicked on an ad, so it was intrusive. There was no nurturing done whatsoever. I didn't necessarily want to talk to them. I wanted to find out about their product. Now, this process that they're following with that ad, with the next ad, is much better, because now I get some time to digest this, and I get to learn more about AIM, and I get to learn more about their products before they try to sell me. It's just the process of nurturing. So this is the email I got. American Independent Marketing would like to share Critical Illness Jumpstart Kit with you, and gives me an idea of what's in the kit. Okay, I've never heard of a Jumpstart Kit before, but it's basically an online workbook. Okay, and it's a great way to teach me something about the product and to get me familiar with AIM. So when I click on the link in the email, click here, I think it was, a workbook. And I can go, and when I go into the workbook, we actually get a really awesome message from AIM. It talks about how they generate, or how they've taught 50,000 insurance agents, and it really introduces me to them in a non-sales oriented kind of way. And I can learn all about this critical illness product, but I'm also going to learn about AIM. So it's a much better process. Now, we did this a few days ago. I haven't been contacted based on this, probably because I haven't completed the workbook. But this is much better, as we already said, than the first process. So now if we keep refreshing this insurance forums page, we continue to see more AIM ads. This is another AIM ad for a single pay long-term care ad. This one is pretty cool because it doesn't require me to opt in, so I can actually get these. Now, it's possible they require me to opt in after I click on a link. I didn't do that, but I would hope that they wouldn't require it, because this would be a good idea. At this point, I've already given them my email address, so they don't really need to get my information again, and it's just friction that's not useful. Okay, so we keep refreshing, and we get another ad. Okay, and we get another result when we click on the ad, and now they're asking for my email again. So I would characterize that as a mistake. We're not trying to bash this company. We do have a big list of things that we feel like they could be doing better, but we're not really going to focus on that in this video. Okay, and we kept refreshing, tried to refresh 100 times, and a couple of times we got some other text-based ads, and a couple times we got a ad for term life insurance. Consider this to be somewhat poor targeting, although if they actually if this insurance forms actually serves consumers, then I guess that's appropriate. But anyway, this has nothing to do with AIM. They did not cause this to show up. They didn't cause this to show up. This is probably a result of Google's targeting. Okay, and once out of 100 times, only one time out of the 100, this appeared, this ad. And this ad just happens to be a company that I went to a few days ago to check out their mobile messaging solution. So this is a retargeting ad. And a retargeting ad is, again, what you might call a follow-around ad or a boomerang ad. Anyway, the point is to try to bring me back to this company that I already visited once. Okay. AIM ads show 80 out of 100 times on insuranceforums.net. Now, I mean, it's wonderful from the perspective of they're trying to get their name out there, but it's probably overdone. It's probably a waste. Nevertheless, it's shown. I'm guessing that probably they don't care because they're probably paying on a per-click basis. It's not necessarily the most efficient way to advertise. It can be in some circumstances, but there is something that tells us, and that tells us that they're probably not paying very much for their ads. Whether they are paying for their ads to show 80 out of 100 times, or whether Google is paying essentially and just charging them on a pay-per-click basis, it doesn't really matter. The fact is their ads are showing 80 out of 100 times. So what that means is ads are pretty cheap to show on insurance forums. Okay? So we're going to move on. We did, again, in our reverse engineering, we want to find out where else are they showing ads. And we did see these ads once, but these are apparently what they're showing most around the web. Now, we started with a popular insurance site, knowing that they're an insurance-related company, but they're showing ads around the web. Now, it's questionable as Of course, we don't know the exact details, but it's questionable how well that works. For instance, if we go and we look at their how often they're showing ads, or where they're showing ads most consistently, they're showing it on a site called spokesman.com, and these countries are completely wrong, so we really need to ignore that. And this is the Spokesman Review, which is their the number one place they're adding, and this is in Spokane, Washington. They're like 200 miles from Spokane, so I'm not really sure why they're advertising on this site. You'd think some sort of local thing, but we didn't see their ads when we went there, and it's really not clear. So it's possible that they're just showing on a retarget basis. It's possible that there's something goofy with the AdWords targeting. It's possible that they're advertising something completely different than B2B insurance products, but their most prevalent banner ads are clearly B2B insurance product related, not consumer product related. So it's probably a retargeting. That's the best guess. Now, the second most common place that they're showing is on something called postonline.co.uk. Now, I've never heard of that. I don't know why they're advertising on a UK site. Again, ignore this. It's clearly a UK site. Why would they be advertising on a UK site? So let's look at that site. Well, interesting. It is an insurance site, a very specific insurance site. There's some insurance ads obviously on there right now, but it's still confusing because they're an American company. Are they trying to get business in the UK? But if we go to look at some demographics, give us an idea that 19% of this site's visitors are coming from the United States. So if we look at the United States and the UK, so it might make sense for them to advertise there. Probably, again, this isn't too manual. It's probably being targeted via Google's automated algorithms. But so the point is that works pretty well for this site, but it probably doesn't work very well for this site. So we're not really sure why they're doing it, again, unless it's retargeting, which means they're following me around. But if we research, we've refreshed this page quite a few times, and we haven't seen any retargeting. So pretty sure they're targeting some other way. We could try to go to a business page, see if something shows up on a retargeting basis from AIM. But like I said, we did this over and over again and nothing showed up. So not sure why they're targeting, but it doesn't really appear that they're retargeting onto this page. Anyway, back to our data. Insuranceforums.net they've been apparently advertising on there since March of 2006, but this isn't necessarily exhaustive. They may have been advertising on there before, but it looks like they've been advertising on there just since the beginning of March. Insurance forums, not their biggest place to advertise, is the bottom line. Some more traffic sources, again, spokesman.com and another UK site. So probably if we did a little more in-depth work, we could figure out why they're doing stuff in the UK, but we're going to move on. So now we wanted to see if they are actually retargeting. So the first thing we did is go to another insurance site. This is a pretty popular insurance site, Insurance Jobs, and yes, they are retargeting. Well, we assume they're retargeting, okay, because we don't see them. We don't see their ads there. But in any case, the ad shows when we go to an insurance-related site, their ads show. Now, we could criticize them a little bit because we already clicked on this ad, so we're not sure why they're showing it again. Really, what they should be showing is some kind of follow-up. Anyway, let's for sure find out whether they're retargeting. Okay, so this is a popular site that I happen to like. It's just a news site for the finance industry, and indeed they are retargeting. Okay, AIM is showing up here. The site has nothing to do directly anyway with insurance. It's simply a site that I happen to like. I happen to go to. So yes, they are following me around with retargeting. Okay, now this was literally the next day that I saw this. This is the same page, by the way, just at the bottom of it. Let's show a second ad. So they're definitely trying to hit me hard. Now, a couple of days later, go to Fox News or Fox Business, and they're retargeting me there. Then I go to Detroit News, and they're retargeting me there. Now, that's a pretty important little detail here, because what do you think the emotional connection is between a major business news network and these ads showing up? I mean, wouldn't I, or the average person, just conclude, wow, they must be huge, they're advertising everywhere, they're anywhere I go, on the biggest websites they show up. I didn't put it on here, they also show up on CNN. Detroit News. So basically now this ad for AIM associates itself with the credibility of a major newspaper. And then we thought, well, let's see if they happen to show up on the New York Times. Yes, they do. So when we go to New York Times topics insurance, and so insurance industry news, there they are again. So now this was, by the way, this ad was about 3 days later. Now we're now we're a few days later, and we haven't seen any more of their ads. So I don't know if they've stopped targeting, or if they've taken retargeting, or if they've taken a break on retargeting. But like I said, there's a few things that they can improve, quite a few things. But the point is, they're making a huge impact in the market using one of those sources, which is the AdWords platform. We weren't able to find any evidence that they're using any other platforms. They may be, but this is what we were able to find. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks, and we'll be back with other white papers for you soon.